So let's do problem one for the exam 2 retake. I'll go through each of these problems one by one. So let's start with number one. So here we can see it is, the question is to write an equation, write this equation, the x minus 5y equals 1, in slope-intercept form. Give the slope and the y-intercept. Well, you see slope-intercept form, and we should automatically think y equals mx plus b. And this equation here is not in that form currently. It is, the x is on the wrong side, the y has a 5 preceding it, or negative 5 preceding it. The only thing that's in the right spot there is the 1. So we need to essentially isolate y. So to do that, we need to get x on the other side. So I'm going to rewrite this, minus 5y equals 1, and I'm going to subtract the x from both sides. That's my step 1. So then I end up with negative 5y equals 1 minus x. Well, I need to get that y all by itself. So I need to divide both sides by negative 5, and that'll get y by itself. But what I do to that side, I need to do to every term on the other side as well. So this becomes a negative 5 over negative 5 here. And now if I rewrite it, I should get y equals negative 1/5 minus 1/5 x. Now it's still not in the right form, because if you look back at our original formula here, y equals mx plus b, the x is actually before the b. So in this case, the whole number is the b, the negative 1/5. So we need to move the terms around a little bit, and it's quite simple. You can just move them around as long as you bring the negative with it, and this is where ping pong definitely comes into play. It makes things a lot easier to manipulate. So here I'll move the negative 1/5 x to the left side, but still on the right side of the equals, and then I'll also say 1/5 here, minus 1/5. This is now in y equals mx plus b form. So from this, I can actually derive quite quickly that the first term here, the coefficient of this x, is the slope, negative 1/5. Sorry, that did not come out very good, but that's a 5. And so this is the slope, and the y-intercept is this guy right here, which is negative 1/5. So if I were to look at this on a graph, it would actually, the y-intercept, it would intersect y in the negative, somewhere in the negative section, and the slope would be down 1 and then over 5. So it would go over like that, and then my line would do something like this.